7th in a row within the webinar KUSOED Webinar Series 2021, which has started from 8th May 2021, means more than a month it already has become. So today, before starting today, I would like to announce here the names of the presenters. First of all, Professor Prasad Wagley sir is here, who is giving his opening remarks on this webinar. And then the next three presenters we have got are Manoj Kumar Shah, MAD scholar, mathematics education from Kathmandu University School of Education. And he is a teacher, mathematics teacher in Little Angels School, Hattiban, Lalitpur. And his topic title is Mathematical Practices in Bhojpuri Culture as a Place-based Pedagogy. And yet another presenter we have got is Junita Shahi Karki. She is doing her 1-year MAD in STEAM education, about to finish now. And she is a director at Imperial World School, Hattigaura, Kathmandu. And her title, presentation title is Storytelling as a STEAM Pedagogy. And similarly, yet another presenter we have got is Sanjaya Kumar Pant. He is an MPhil scholar, Kathmandu University, STEAM education. His presentation title is Gardening as a STEAM Pedagogy. So, first of all, now I would like to request Professor Manoj Prasad Wagley for giving his opening remarks. As we know that he is a well-known educationist, and even when I was doing my B.Ed, I have gone through some books of Manoj Prasad Wagley, but unfortunately I couldn't complete that 1-year B.Ed. Even though all of us know about his contribution to the field of education in Nepal as well as in the international platform as well. So it is our pleasure that he is going to give his opening remarks today. So welcome, Manoj sir. Thank you, everybody. I would like to request all the participants to mute your microphone. The presentation is on. Thank you very much. Manoj sir, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Indra sir, and the STEAM team at Kathmandu University, providing me this opportunity to give an opening remarks in this seminar today. I will be basically talking about STEAM as the thinking pedagogy. So my concentration will be on thinking process today. Most of you know about what STEAM is about, but I will try to do in a way that it leads to the thinking process. So you see, let me share my screen here. Is it visible, Indra sir? Can you see it?
Not yet, sir, not yet.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, not yet, sir. No.
So I have to take training on STEAM myself.
No.
Okay, now.
Present now, I think. Yeah. It's on. Yeah.
It's on, but the content is not there, right?
Yeah, right.
I think
now you can.
I think
click
the slide open गर्नुपर्छ हो त्यो slide हो.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Please move on.
Okay. Thank you very much. I have 15 slides. I will be very brief to finish it within the time set it for me. STEAM, the thinking pedagogy. Now let me start with this graph here, the figure here, which I took from the Google. Now let's start from this space, evidence and tasks. exactly what knowledge do you want the students to have, and how do you want them to know it? This is the learning space, the knowledge space. We can claim our knowledge within this space, and then you see it's linked with will you accept what they have learned? Are there any evidences? How will you analyze and interpret the evidences that they have submitted? Right, so that's also correlated, related with what tasks will the students perform to communicate their knowledge. So it's the space, evidence, and tasks are all related one, right? So are these that we want in our students then? Collaboration, experiential learning, problem solving, creativity, and human values, right? These 5 will build up the critical and ethical human resources we want for the 21st century. But how to provide learners with access points to dialogue, inquiry, and critical thinking. So these 3 are the most important elements, or say the essences, or say the virtues, where we all, you see, want to provide access to our learners, right? Take an example of STEAM board. Since we are talking about STEAM today, so why not take an example of a STEAM board? The energy is science, it's physics, right? The transition from a simple board to a STEAM board and onwards is technology. The design is engineering. The look is an art. The speed is mathematics. So you can see things differently in different ways, right? So integrating related knowledge into a single whole meaningful learning is STEAM pedagogy. So let our students make that they could think the way that we want. Can we assign them to think holistically? That's another question. On the way to and from home, we can assign our students what mathematics do they see, what science do they experience, what do they appreciate, do they see any particular design or pattern, what medium do they experience communicating these ideas. So you see, even in the, taking an example of Japan preschool or primary schools, you see, they assign students some homework like this, and on the way to and from home, they experience something, they write the reports, or they tell it verbally, they present it in class, and they get feedback from their peers and their teachers, and they learn, right? So let them experience as they grow up. They will understand the phenomenon in a holistic way. They experience the dynamics of their own surrounding, then relate those in your teaching. Now we are now in the century old traditional, we call it didactic teaching, didactic pedagogy. So you see, think about the kind of mechanical type of teaching that we have been doing today, from the first period to the last period, 5 periods, 6 periods, 7 periods a week, memorizing the facts, vomiting in the exam. Would it take our learners from their home to the nearby road? I don't think so. Forget about moons and Mars. So you see, we have to change our pedagogy, right, to meet the 21st century needs. So we have to break the 4-wall concepts in instructional process. Telling this, I would like to tell you something. The world out there is a big store of knowledge. Everybody accepts it. The tree is a science. Your mobile is technology. Buildings and bridges are engineering. The blue sky can be an art. And shopping is mathematics. So this is just an example. So you can see many things, right? Whatever you see it from different perspectives. So that's what we have to take our students out of the 4 walls to learn better, to experience better, to think better. The combination of all these denote experiential learning, the learning treasure, the learning within the nature, the mine of learning you dig that never ends. That is your environment. That is outside the classroom. So out of the textbook box, let's think. Textbooks, well, they are fine. They are also the experiential learning of experts. We write textbooks. That is our experiential learning, not our students. That may tell you facts, fine. But you have to experience yourself the world to see if the facts are still true. So make them critically think whether the facts written in the textbooks are true even today. The age-old curricula that we have been using today to educate our children, are they okay? Let's think ourselves. Will those facts and figures given in the textbook help solve your practical problems? Ask questions. What else is additionally required for learning? Questions like this will lead you towards STEAM. Not all contents require all these, but the research says you should at least have 2 of these components to explore better solution. I took it from Pantalu and Stress 2020. They wrote an article. So you don't need to worry about all 5 STEAM, but at least you have to go for 2. That means you are integrating the kind of knowledge that you are providing with something else more, right? Now, unknowingly towards STEAM, there are students who are genius. They always look for better alternatives, better college, better university, better pedagogy. They are looking for. They want to demonstrate their capability, working together, providing insights, innovating ideas, right? They are doing this. They are experimenting. They are combining their ideas. They are creating college, right? See things differently. They want to see things different. They want to describe things differently, right? They explain the same thing from different perspectives. There are people, but there are very few of them who have demonstrated their capability of their own. Let's try to grow more students in this regard. We can see, you see, our Nepali students going abroad, they have contributed a lot. They have achieved a lot. But how many of them are doing such thing? Let's think. So the mass that we have been teaching today, there are 9 million students from you see primary grade to the university. So we have to think today to make this mass capable so that they could think differently. Now research says, right? There are so many things research says, right? STEAM that increases student achievement and teacher efficacy. That's one research, right? So connecting STEAM and literacy, they are positively correlated for cognitive development, right? Literacy skills and math skills. So you see the research also says that if you connect STEAM with literacy, it will reflect meaningfully on their work, right? Students whose language arts curricula were infused with theater arts, okay, this is an example, they outperformed, right? Compared to those who are just taught inside the classroom. Now, secondary teachers' reflections. Another revealed inter, trans, and cross-disciplinary learning shaped by teacher collaboration, dialogue, and classroom organization that fosters critical and creative thinking. So these are some research findings which tells us that the 21st century world demands STEAM practices in our schools and colleges. Now, STEAM in day-to-day instruction, we can do it. It's just an integrated approach in learning, nothing more than that. We don't need to worry about the big words STEAM. We have been doing this in our everyday life. You can even see the preschool teachers, the primary school teachers, the basic school teachers, the high school teachers, the university level teachers. Some of them are doing this in their everyday practice. And they are, you see, making their students capable to compete in this 21st century world. But that is not enough. We all have to be aware of the integration of at least, you see, more than one thing in our pedagogy. So integrated approach in learning, this is STEAM is, it starts from collaborative planning in schools. So learning does not always, you see, point to the students. It requires the collaborative planning among the faculty members, among the school teachers, so that they could integrate. You see, in curriculum, and there are 2 technical words. One is vertical integration. Another is horizontal integration. The vertical integration, that means each year when the student students are promoted, they will go to the next grade. So it's the progression of curriculum. It's the vertical one. But the horizontal one, we are forgetting. Horizontal one, that means, you see, are there any relationships between the subjects that we teach in our classes? Mathematics, science, social studies, language, arts, right? You see, the extracurricular activities, there is a relationship. If we can find those relationships, sitting together, working together, collaborative planning, then the students will get a holistic learning, not like today's, right? First period English, finished. Second period mathematics, finished. Third period science, finished. Fourth period social studies, finished. Fifth period, you see, health, finished. Sixth period, they go home. So they have, you see, the compartmentalized knowledge that we have been providing them, which have not been that meaningful to our students. That's why they wrote, they memorize, and they write the same thing, and we promote them without assessing whether they have the meaningful learning. So you see, we have been doing this in some cases, but in many cases, we have forgotten this horizontal integration. So it starts from collaborative planning, from you, from your side, from teachers, right? Because it focuses on inquiry, it focuses on collaboration, it focuses on process-based learning. What we have been doing today, today is that the product-based learning, the exam-based learning, the exam-focused classroom teaching, right? That's why we prescribe our students to study the world, you see, question papers that are available in the market, prepare for the examinations. So we've been focusing on exam. Well, might be the students pass the examination with A+ grade. But what's the meaning of that? Unless the student is able to apply the kind of meaning that he carries from his knowledge to the practice. So intentional connections, we have to make it among your purpose, process of teaching, creating STEAM standards, and assessment of students. So we have to make standards, we have to make rubrics, we have to make a framework that helps us to assess our students in a holistic way. Not that I am a science teacher and I concentrate on science textbook. I prepare questions on the content that are written in the textbooks and the students answer this. Not that way. That way we can never, you see, ensure that our students have completed, remember this word, the learning outcomes that we have, you see, put in our curriculum. So focus on the learning outcomes, not on the textbooks. So in order to focus on the curriculum, you have to have a, you see, the collaborative planning within the school or colleges. Don't you think the learning will be fun if the students, right? There are 5-6 points here. If we focus on some problems to ponder, that will increase the thinking process. Looking for solutions, trying to see the root of the problem and its connections, right? You see, in my time when I was in school, the teacher, the mathematics teacher, they want us to, you see, memorize a theorem 4, 7, 11, 24, because out of those 4, one always, you see, appear in the SLC examination. We memorized, we wrote it, we got the marks, but we never knew the root of the problem to, you see, prove the thesis. We write QED. At the end, that's fine. But what's QED? How did I solve the problem? I don't know. So you see, we have to engage ourselves to the root of the problem, right? Create their own ideas, let them innovate. Give them some cases, give them some assignments so that they can think themselves. Bring all thinking inside the classroom, discuss among themselves. This is what we need to increase, to strengthen their thinking. Work on ideas and group, the skills and the processes to solve the problem. That's what application is about. And then let them disseminate their ideas to others. Sharing of knowledge increases knowledge, right? And let them be reflexive. Let them listen what others say. Let them revise, let them refine their own thinking. So this way we can go forward. So that means schools are not just the physical structures, they are the frame of mind. For example, We may have been teaching the cost price is rupees 100, the selling price is rupees 200. What is the profit percent? Right? The answer obviously is 100%. That's fine. We are up to here right now. Students get full mark. But did you ever think? Did you ever link this with ethical citizen, ethical market, sustainable development? Have we done this? Is 100% profit making is ethical? Sorry, is 100% profit making ethical? It is not. So the answer may be correct, but we have not been linking the answer with the everyday life here. This will lead students to think further, and add another aspect of learning. So I think we have to make a click in students' mind. We have to ignite their mind. Not that everything we tell them and they know it. We also can learn from them today. So let's click their mind, right? Let's link something to their mind so that they can think themselves, come with the answers, come with more problem, come with more thinking, and then the education will be related with, concerned with the everyday life. That's why you see, if you go today and talk to the people, well, what did we learn in a school? We don't even know to solve a small problem in our daily life. Then what's the use of education? So let's think this way, right? STEAM is the solution to this. Might not be the solution, but the world says it's the solution because we have been linking STEAM with our thinking pedagogy. Let's explore hidden agenda in the learning process. Let's unearth those agenda and integrate in learning. Let's motivate our students to see different perspectives of learning to build their career in future. So I urge my friends, come and join STEAM program in KU and develop your own career in teaching field. Thank you. Thank you, Indra sir.
Thank you very much, Manoj sir, for your wonderful and insightful presentation as you have given. Actually, schools are not just the physical structures; they are the framework of minds. And as teachers, we need to ignite or click the minds of students so that they can explore many things, not remaining within the four walls of the school. There are many knowledge and skills that we can find out outside of these four schools, not only sticking on the textbooks that we have to always enforce our students to go for the source of knowledge through the textbooks only. So thank you very much. It's so much our pleasure to have you here, sir. Thank you very much once again. Now I would like again request all the valued participants to mute your mic while the presentation going on, because I heard one voice in the middle when the presentation was going on. It may be because of some kind of mistake. So I again request you. Now, without delaying, I would like to request all the presenters to be ready. First of all, the first presenter is Manoj Shah, who is going to present his presentation. I mean, he's going to do the presentation on the topic, as I told you before, mathematical practices in Bhojpuri culture as a place-based pedagogy. So, Manoj Kumar Shah, sir, I would like to share your slides and start your presentation, please.
Okay, thank you, sir.
For the presentation and 10 minutes for the question and answer.
Okay, thank you. Hello, namaste to you all. I am Manoj Kumar Shah, scholar MD in Mathematics Education, Kathmandu University School of Education, Hathiban, Lalitpur. Professionally, I am a mathematics teacher of Little School, Hathiban, Lalitpur. Today, I am sharing about mathematical practices in Bhojpuri culture as a place-based pedagogy. First of all, I would like to give a special thanks to Kathmandu University for this platform and my respected guru, Prasad Pant sir, Indramani Shrestha sir, for assisting me and all the participants. The outlines of my presentation goes like this. My journey from traditional to progressive education as a learner and a teacher, mathematical practices in Bhojpuri culture, mathematical practices in Bhojpuri culture as a place-based pedagogy. Me as a traditional learner and a teacher, let me take you all in my school days. I was guided by rote learning, marks-oriented education system, always focusing on a routine problem, textbook problem, and not connected with real world problem, so that I never felt mathematics in my Bhojpuri culture in which I was born. As a teacher, because of my traditional schooling, I also started to teach mathematics in that way, like rote memorization, textbooks problem, routine problem. I was always present myself as a boss in the class. Me as a progressive learner and teacher, when I came to join KU as a learner encountering various student-centric approaches like collaborative learning approaches, project-based learning, context-based, constructivist, learning by doing, ethno-mathematical, place-based pedagogy, etc. We'll talk about constructivist here. Students construct the knowledge rather than just passively take information according to their experiences. They build their own representation and incorporate new information into their pre-existing knowledge. Similarly, if we talk about project-based learning, a teacher assigns the project in different group. They will accomplish the project on a specific time so that they feel ownership and authentic knowledge. As a teacher, now I came to know that teaching and learning should be based on students' needs and interests. We have to connect mathematics with real-world problem. Similarly, integrated learning approaches apply in mathematics, like multidisciplinary approach, interdisciplinary approach, transdisciplinary approach. Multidisciplinary approach means we know we can teach to our students from one theme, and we can teach from one theme more than one discipline. Similarly, if we talk about interdisciplinary, there also we can select one theme, and from that one theme we can teach more than one discipline, but that disciplines are interconnected to each other. For example, if we talk about one theme, suppose our market is a theme. Just now our Manoj sir already talk about ethics and our daily life problem, like 100% profit, which is not ethical. So if we talk about interdisciplinary approach, like market is our theme, so we can teach to our students from that theme how we can connect our mathematics in our daily life, like in market. Similarly, you can teach from that theme like social studies, science, etc. If we talk about transdisciplinary approach, in which we cannot separate the discipline from one theme, they are learning various disciplinary knowledge. If we culturally contextualize mathematics, then it will be better. As we know, we Nepalese are rich in our culture. There are different culture like Brahmin culture, Newar culture, Maithili culture, Tamang culture, Bhojpuri culture. Basically, here I'm going to talk about Bhojpuri culture. So, Bhojpuri language is spoken by the people of Sarlahi, Rohtak, Bara, and Parsa district living in the Tarai region of Nepal. Famous festival of this culture like Chhat, Holi, Durga Puja, etc. There is a mathematical artifacts, mathematical art, which I never felt. So I requested to all the participants, please identify the given arts or the given picture. What is this?
Yeah. Okay, sir. Let me check out here.
Okay, sir.
Anybody name these artifacts, Bhojpuri artifacts that are used? Anybody? So I'm checking here. Anybody knows this vessel? Matka. So Anila Mishra has written here Matka. Okay, anybody others? Okay, that's good. I think you can proceed further, sir. Manoj sir.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay,
one answer
our
is Matka.
one answer came there, Matka. So that is similar, but actually it is called in our Bhojpuri culture koti or dairy. So we can see here different shape and sizes here. This small sizes is called in Bhojpuri culture a dairy, where that big sizes is called koti, which is used to preserve paddy, rice, wheat, grains, pulse, beans, etc. But this can be mathematical model, like we can connect with cuboid. We can see here from this basal, we can see here it is in the form of like cuboid, rectangular basis is here. Similarly, we can connect with here pyramid, frustum, circular shape. We
Manoj
can
sir, I think
teach.
your other, I think you have to click there so that the text are seen here. Text is are not seen here. Once
Okay,
you just
sir. Okay, sir. So just I'm talking about these basals and their koti and dairy. So if you talk with your students, and we can connect to our mathematics, so we can see here different mathematical structure is here, different mathematical concept connected with these artifacts and this basal. So like we can teach to our students about that cuboid, cube, pyramid, basal, and similarly we can give the concept of circumference of the circle, cylinder, etc. So I think it is good for our teaching and learning when students also feel their authentic, their ownership, and easily they can design such types of project as well as, and from that project they can't forward that knowledge easily. Similarly, sometimes they can visit and they can make the project which is culturally context-based approach. So it is shows that mathematics not only in the textbooks, it is also in our culture. For integrated curriculum, it can be theme also. If we talk about nowadays integrated curriculum, so we can make one theme like Kochi, then from that one theme, we can teach to our students different discipline. Like we can talk about mathematics, we can talk about here science, we can talk about here social studies, like how they are making these types of basal, because here also they need that collaborative, more than two people they are making together, so we can teach our social studies, etc. If we talk about here teaching and learning activities, so we teacher are here, we can create here place-based pedagogy in which they will visit, make the project, critically they will think so that it develop the hard skills and soft skills as well. Similarly, if you see the next slide, here is also one artifact here. So please write in the chat box, what is this?
anyone, please. What is this called? This is clever. Again, Matka. Mahendra, give me a Matka. Matka. Yeah,
Okay,
so,
exactly, Matka. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Mahendra Givire has like written daily in Tharu language.
Okay, yes, sir,
Language.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So you can click. I think now. Again, you can click.
Okay,
Your text will be
sir.
shown here. I think it is
Okay,
animated. Again, you can click.
okay, sir.
Okay,
So
yeah.
exactly, sir already mentioned there like matka, and according to our culture, I hope this clay pots also different name, like this clay pot not only in Bhojpuri culture. I hope it is in our this Nevari culture, Bhaktapur also, in our Haru culture also. But we know its importance and how we connect these clay pots with our mathematics and in our school mathematics. So as we know, these clay pots, matka, and we can say like here, we can see here it has different shape and size, and so how we can connect with our mathematics so that our students will feel easy and they are able to learn daily life problem or real world problem, and they are able to connect mathematics with real world problem. So as we know, this is a clay pots which is used in Bhojpuri culture, ritual, culturally and ritual values and household chores. We can see here different shape and sizes, and we can connect with our school mathematics to teach different geometrical shape. We can see here its shape are also different, so that we can teach to our students to find their surface area, to find their volume, like to find the cost of painting, etc. So till now, as a teacher, we are teaching just as a formula, like what is the volume of that cylinder, what is the surface area of that cylinder or a sphere, like that. But till now, our students are not feel our that mathematical concept we can use in our such types of artifacts or in our culture. This is also our place-based activities. So if you teach such types of mathematics with such types of activities, then they will feel authentic, and teaching and learning will be also here. Place-based pedagogy, critical pedagogy, project-based learning. Sometimes we can assign these types of project to our students. Then they can assign the project. They can make the project easily, and which is value-based learning, integrated learning as well. Similarly, we have another type. So, can you guess what is this, dear participants?
Yeah, I think, yeah. Kunu from Santosh Rizal.
Okay.
Kunu.
Okay.
Instead of speaking, please write here. So, Kunu, Shri Karki is Kunu. Tawa, Mahendra Gimer, Tawa also written. Maths, yeah, Khainra Dagari, maths also.
Pujaul, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, please, Kunu in Hilly region. Yeah, Tawa, maths. I think Bhojpuri Saska has not come. I think you can proceed further, sir.
Okay, sir.
Please
Okay,
read
thank
the
you, sir.
slides.
Okay, thank you, sir. Exactly, we know, according to our culture, according to our that district-wise, I hope different name we can call it here. So, as a Bhojpuri language, we are talking about this figure. Then it is called Paralko Punja, and one participants already told, like our अघि के भन्नुभएको थियो सर, नाम बिर्सेँ, परालको पुञ्ज नै अहिले हामी भन्छौँ. And we can see here it is preserved as a mathematical shape, and it has also scientific logic why they are keeping in this way. So we can think about in that way also. From this also we can construct the mathematical modeling. They easily measure the, like if like this, then we can see here they easily measure the circumference of the circle. It is in the form of like cone, and they can measure the surface area. Similarly, the height of the cone, actual height also we can measure from here, etc. So from these activities also we are able to connect our mathematics with our culture, and with our daily life problem, so that students feel easy and they are able to solve that daily life problem. Similarly, we have next figure here. What is this and what types of shape it has?
I think T,
Yes, exactly.
T, written here, Sudip Karki.
Okay.
I think you can proceed now.
Okay, sir. Sir, already told exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dauri.
Dauri, 30, exactly, sir. And we can call it Daura also. So we know this is a bamboo pot which is used to keep household things and cultural and ritual. We can
Sir,
see
please
here.
click again. I stop here.
Okay, sorry, sir. So we can see here it has different shape. and their pattern. If you see their pattern and their shape, then here is also our mathematics. And but till now we did not realize, we did not find our mathematics in such types of cultural artifacts. So we can see here like a circle, we can give the concept of circle, and like circumference of the circle, area of the circle, cylinder. Similarly, other different shapes are here. So if we connect these types of our culture with our mathematics, then I hope our students feel easy that mathematics, and easily they can design, they can construct their knowledge, which is easy to construct, and they will feel mathematics not only in book, mathematics in our surrounding only. Similarly, you can see here our teaching and learning, same as previous slides. We can construct the similar teaching and learning activities are here. We have next figure here. Dear participants, what is this?
Okay. What could it be? In Bhojpuri as well as in other language, in other culture, what does it call? Actually, what do we call it?
Daha, sir. Daha.
Okay, Daha, exactly. That also correct, sir.
Right here in the chat box. Tajia, Mahendra Ghimire has written Tajia. Tajia.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay,
sir.
please move on. Tajia.
Okay, so sir already told one, our participants, respected sir told Daha, that is also used in the in Tarail region. There is a Muslim religion they are using as a Daha, but in a Hindu perspective, in the Hindu culture, we are using as a झन्डा पनि भन्छौँ हामी, झन्डा मेला पनि भनेर हामी हिन्दू रिलिजनबाट सोच्ने हो भने हामी यसरी भन्छौँ. मुस्लिम पर्सपेक्टिभबाट दाहा पनि सरले भन्नु, that also correct. So from here, in that Bhojpuri culture,
please click again. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Okay. So if we are talking about Bhojpuri culture, so according to our Hindu culture, Hindu religion, बाट हामी सोच्ने हो भने, this is called that flag fair हामी भन्छौँ, झन्डा मेला त्यहाँ हुन्छ. So this flag fair is a religious fair celebrated in Bhojpuri culture. According to Hindu religion, Hanumanji is worshipped. Here people are entertained by cultural dance and games, which is promotes religious and cultural tolerance. But here also we can connect with our mathematics. So if you see here, it's a structure, how they make these types of daha or zanda. Here also our mathematical artifacts, mathematical structure, mathematical pattern. So it is constructed on the basis of geometrical shape and pattern. So we can see here our geometrical shape, their pattern, and our local that Bhojpuri art. We can see here like different shape, like when we are talking about that rectangle, square, and then we can see different our geometrical shape here. Similarly, if we connect with our school mathematics, then we can assign the height and distance, trigonometry height and distance here, which we never feel in our daily life. Like while we are teaching and while we learn also, we never feel where we can use like that height and distance and other trigonometrical topic also. So here easily we can assign the height and distance, so that we can assign the project as well as, so students they can visit the place and they can assign the project, and they can easily accomplish that project on the time, so they feel that authentic and owner of that types of knowledge from these types of our cultural flag fair also. Our similar teaching and learning activities are here. So I'm not going to explain again, because that is similar teaching and learning in each and every slides here. Similarly, as we know, we are rich in, and that culture, we have different temple. So if you talk about in our culture, so there are many temple in Bhojpuri culture also, such as there is a Shiva temple, Ganesh temple, Hanuman temple, Gadimai temple, etc. this is one of them. This temple seems to occupy great subject of mathematics. If you see this temple, then it occupies great subject of mathematics. It has different structure. We can connect our school mathematics. School mathematics, like here is different structure, like we can give the concept of rectangle, parallelogram, parallel lines, semicircle, pyramid, and prism. Similarly, parallel lines, rectangle, square, painting, cost of painting, etc. So they can visit the place and they can create a mathematical model. Students can be taken to such types of place, maybe a week. They will make a project so that it creates the critical thinking, problem solving skills, so that they will feel mathematics is not only in book, it is in our culture, it is in our surrounding. Similar teaching and learning activities are here we can assign and we can use in our classroom. I hope this is famous, and as we know, हामी सबैलाई यो थाहा भएकै कुरा मलाई लाग्छ, यसमा कोही पनि अनभिज्ञ हुनुहुन्न. ठेकुवा and famous प्रसाद of छठ. Yes sir. छठको प्रसाद हामी सबैलाई थाहा छ. मलाई लाग्छ फरेन कन्ट्रीमा पनि यो धेरै चर्चित नै सुनिन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ. So as we know, vegetarian food stops consumed by worshippers after religious offering Chhath festival. So in Chhath festival हामी यो युज गर्छौं, हामी यो प्रसादको रूपमा खान्छौं, धेरै नै फेमस छ. But we never try to connect it with our mathematics. But if you think about this Thekua, it has also our mathematics. Like if we have to teach our that arithmetic part of school mathematics, like our ratio and proportion and their cost and time and work as well, so that it is easy and easily we can connect this Thekua also with our school mathematics. Because to make this type such types of Thekua, we need there also, like in what ratio we have to mix that, like sugar or wheat. भनेपछि हामीलाई यो कन्सेप्ट सिकाउनको लागि र हामीले बुझ्न पनि मलाई लाग्छ धेरै नै सजिलो हुन्छ in our school mathematics. Similarly, if we talk about our next slide, what is this? Anyone, my respected participants, dear friends, any guess?
Okay, so Maithili art.
Maithili art.
Mithila art, yeah. Mithila art written here.
Okay.
I think it is famous for everyone knows that one. Maybe in your Bhojpuri culture, what it is called, you may tell. So Mithila Chitrakala, Mithila Chitra, Mithila
Okay.
art, Maithili art. Okay, I think you can move on. Mithila art.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, exactly, sir. So our Mithila art and Bhojpuri art are similar, only their slight difference, only district wise, and as we know, district wise थोरै मात्रै different देखिन्छ, otherwise similar नै छ हाम्रो Bhojpuri and Mithila arts. So we can see here this Bhojpuri arts seems to entire culture of our Bhojpuri culture, which carry a large part of mathematics. So if you see here carefully, this art contain our entire that culture, like it has that agriculture, हामी यसलाई हलो भन्छौं, हामी भोजपुरीमा त्यो फार्मिङको लागि युज गर्छौं भने. Similarly, यहाँ ढेकी पनि हामी हेर्न सक्छौं. Similarly, this side here our household things, हैन, त्यो पनि हामी हेर्न सक्छौं. It means if you see carefully these arts, so our this Mithila art or Bhojpuri arts also cover the mathematical concept. So here also we can connect with our mathematics, and we can tell to our students, please design your culture art, your Mithila art or Bhojpuri art. So they will design their art. Then from that art, easily we can connect our mathematics, and they will learn about mathematics from their art as well, as so that they will also feel, oh, mathematics not only in the book, it is in our art also. So it is helpful for our mathematics. So students will feel here, and it creates their creativity, it develops their creativity as well as problem solving skill also. And they will think about like different design, how designing here like related to circle, like कति radius राखेर हामी draw गर्नुपर्छ, like their different you can see here pattern. For that also they are thinking how we can fill the color over there. So they will also it develops their creativity. Similarly, we have another art also. So we can observe carefully and we can assign, like we can divide our students in different group, like 4-5 group, and we can assign them, please draw your art, and from that we can teach them how we can, it is connected with mathematics, and how there is a like a different geometrical shape and other parallel, perpendicular. Easily they will get the idea from these our cultural art and cultural artifacts. So we are talking about place-based pedagogy from this our cultural art and cultural artifacts. So there are various pedagogy. We can use place-based pedagogy here. It is experimental education, community-based education, promoter learning based on students and strengths, needs, and interests. So from these activities, we know that how it is possible and how we can apply this place-based pedagogy so that it promotes the students' agency. Similarly, if we talk about place-based pedagogy here, when they visit the place, they can use their various subject-centric knowledge such as mathematical knowledge, scientific knowledge, social knowledge, etc. And these are the hard skills, help them develop their soft skills. When they explore mathematical practices in the culture, such as they develop their personal skill, creative skill, critical skill. Similarly, you will see here like a problem solving skill, so that it is not only problem solving, it is from the real life problem. So from these all activities, we can say that mathematics not only in our books, mathematics in our culture, mathematics in our surrounding. So hence, place-based pedagogy promotes ownership in learning for students. So thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you for your wonderful presentation, Manoj Kumar Shah, sir. Please do share your slides. Okay, thank you. So stop sharing. I think you have to.
Okay.
You can install. Okay. So it's wonderful because as Manasar also told beginning his opening remarks that we are should actually include or limit our students within the four walls of the school. They should break the walls and come out of the school and go to outside world and explore many things. So one of the many options is that students are taken to the place are taken to the place and they explore many things related to mathematics. They can communicate with their with the people around that community, explore many things regarding mathematics, and they can bring those knowledge and skills and those information and prepare a report and present in the classroom. That can also be done. And another is that can be divided into different groups and they can explore their own culture, not only Bhojpuri culture, because Manoj Kumar Sai is right now he is doing his MA in Mathematics Education in Kathmandu University. He is just in second semester. He has realized that not only the textbook knowledge, not only the problems solving from the textbook, routine problems, students should also be take out from the school and they should make aware about their own culture in which they can link mathematics. That's why they can grow in their own culture. maybe from Brahmin community, from Kshetri community, Tamang community, Newar community, or Bhojpuri community, Maithili community. It is a diverse country. So diverse, having a country with diverse culture. That's why in a classroom, having different cultural backgrounds, students can study their own culture and try to find out, try to explore their mathematics. So this is one of the example. Thank you very much, Manoj Shah sir. I'll take some questions from here chat box. And for your kind information, today at the last after the presentation, Professor Balchandra Luitel sir will be concluding, and he will also try to link all the presentations, how this presentation and the themes, then the knowledge and the ideas can be connected and in the classroom. So I'll take some questions from here. If there are any nice presentation, I think I can't see any question. Anyone would like to ask? Here one. Place-based school curriculum and teachers. How to connect it to modern pedagogy? So how to place-based school curriculum and teachers, place-based school. How to connect it to modern pedagogy? Okay. So Manoj sir, would you like to say, the question is like that, can we, how to connect this place-based pedagogy with modern pedagogy? Means maybe, I don't know what this modern pedagogy maybe is telling about the pedagogy that are brought from abroad, like constructivist or learning by doing, etc., etc. Do you have to say something about this?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. As you told, if we are thinking about modern pedagogy, means like sir told, constructivist approach, then of course we can connect that our cultural artifacts and that place-based pedagogy also with a constructivist way, and then maybe we can connect with our modern pedagogy also, I think. You can put more answer here, sir.
Yeah, it's actually, if I have not misunderstood, modern pedagogy generally we call which are directly brought from abroad or whoever actually propounded across the world. Those ideas can be brought here. Not only that, we can also actually give emphasis on our own pedagogy, like this place-based pedagogy. What are the actual practices in our culture? We can take our students out there and they can explore. So this place-based pedagogy actually help our students to explore their own cultural practices, mathematical practices. That practices, if come out across the world, that can also be modern pedagogy, I think so. So now next, excellent presentation. So how are you going to link this in your classroom with students? One question is there. Manoj sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nowadays, I have already started to connect such types of problem in my classroom also. Like while I'm teaching that line or angle or geometrical shape, I'm already started to connect with these types of real life problem or these types of culturally context-wise or place-based learning, like geometrical shape or other pattern also. I've already started to connect in my classroom also nowadays.
Okay, one more question is here. What responses did you get from your students when you applied such type of pedagogy in the classroom? What is the response of your students?
They feel easy and like till now they have a one mindset, like mathematics only in book, and they feel hard. So after using such types of activities, they feel easy and like कहिले क्या हुन्छ नि उले थाहै नपाइकन मैथमेटिक्स बुझिराखेको जस्तो मैले चाहिँ फिल गरिरहेको हुन्छु क्लासमा.
Yeah, it means that the students are enjoying because they feel also proud that their cultures are brought into the classroom, and maybe because of their authentic learning, they feel their ownership that yes, in my culture also, there are so many mathematical practices. My practices are valued. So value-based pedagogy also we can call it, I think. Yeah. Thank you very much. I think more questions are there. Thank you very much. If there will be other questions, I will take it later. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation, Manoj Shah, sir. Now, I would like to invite yet another presenter today. So she is none other than Junita Shahi Karki. She is doing her 1 year MA in STEAM education, about to finish now, at the last moment now. And she is also the director at Imperial World School, Hatigora, Kathmandu. So, Junita Sai, ma'am, I would like to share, request you to share your slides.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, please move on, ma'am.
All right, sure. So good evening and namaste to everyone present at the 7th educational webinar organized by Kathmandu University. I'm Junita, and today I'm going to present on the topic storytelling as a STEM pedagogy. So before moving on to my content, I would like to quickly introduce myself. I've studied MBA in year 2012, and currently I'm pursuing a Masters of Education, STEAM at Kathmandu University, and I'm a director at Imperial World School. So this is how my presentation outline looks like when I'll be covering the curriculum overview and some innovative pedagogy in teaching. I'll be focusing more on art integration learning and storytelling as STEAM pedagogy, as my topic is all about storytelling. And I'll be also sharing some dimension of digital storytelling, as it also one of the form of storytelling, and the storytelling festival project that we have conducted in our school, and some of my to conclude my transitional journey experience that I had with STEM department at Kathmandu University. So here I would like to share a little bit on what we teach at Imperial World School. Basically at Imperial World School, we teach both Nepali and international curriculum. And international primary curriculum is basically a British curriculum that is for the elementary level, and that focuses on grade 1 to 6 grade students, and is very much innovative curriculum, and that actually helps students in their personal development, and along with international understanding of the issues and ways to tackle them. Similarly, a student at grades 7 to 8 are taught international middle years curriculum, and the curriculum equips students with required knowledge to be prepared for the real world situation. And this curriculum is basically incorporated with the national curriculum by linking the theme with different disciplines such as science, engineering, technology, maths, and the approach that we adopt is mainly theme-based approach, and then project-based approach, and experiential approach is what we follow. So here, innovative pedagogy in teaching, like ever since I have stepped in to the education sector, I've been fascinated by various methods of imparting knowledge in the students. However, after joining MA STEM at Kathmandu University, it has certainly broadened my knowledge about various innovative pedagogies and STEM approaches. So we all know that pedagogy refers to the way or the method that teachers apply while teaching, and it is merely an approach to teaching the content based on teachers' personal experience and the purpose of the teachers and the context. However, the process of teaching and learning that has changed over time, and the techniques that we used to follow decade back or earlier are not same today, and also due to the significant rise in the the globally competitive environment that student has to face, the gender that has established the need to generate the 21st century skilled student, and also because of the lot of changes that we've been confronting, innovative pedagogy in teaching basically help foster the flexibility and 21st century skill, and it also fosters reflection on prior knowledge. So we need actually to focus on these innovative pedagogies so that our students are equipped with the qualities that makes them capable of competing with the global market, and then they are capable of connecting with the real life problems. So it basically connect to the authentic context of learning and problem solving ability, and it's simply a teaching way or method. However, these are the things that we focuses on innovative pedagogy. And how art integrated learning can be one of the best innovative pedagogy. Like we all know that STEAM is an evolution of the original STEM, and STEM framework approach is also to erase the divide between discipline and shifting our focus from the traditional mode of teaching education towards the innovative approach. And it is quite an evident from the present global crisis that we have been facing, which is the direct consequence of ignoring the importance of this synergy between science, maths, technology, engineering, and art. Therefore, it has been a need of ours to reform our teaching approach and also to bring forth to these innovative ideas so that our students are equipped with these knowledge, and which can also be achieved mainly from integrating art in our teaching and learning. And integrating art doesn't always necessarily mean sketching or painting, but at our school we have tried to incorporate various forms of art, such as language art. It could be visual art or the performance art. So there are different forms of art that we can incorporate in our teaching and learning platform. Because for meaningful learning to happen, to take place, student also should get the opportunity to reflect on their prescribed knowledge, which they have already acquired through their personal experience and social interaction, and should also be able to develop new knowledge through engagement and practice. So integration of art basically allows this sort of experiential learning and collaboration in many ways, thus promoting creativity and logical thinking, and at the end they acquire a meaningful learning environment. So STEM education with this art in it have impacted in greater sense when it comes to student engagement and problem solving in real sense, when it comes to real world context that we always talk about. And at the same time, it also helps foster empathy. It helps them connect with their learning, with their feelings and their aesthetics. So as there are many ways and methods of integrating art in our teaching and learning, today I'm sharing on how storytelling has been incorporated as one of the STEM pedagogy in our teaching platform. So storytelling is basically a key part of creative arts. So we all like stories. I'm sure you all agree on that, and we all have beautiful stories to recall. So when we have to go back and recall our childhood days or the memories, one thing I'm sure I would not be wrong in this aspect, that we all have our wonderful childhood story memories to talk about, and that might have we might have heard that from your parents or grandparents, and sometimes even the visual stories that we might have read or watched in a television. And these stories and its characters certainly have greater influence in our lives, and that sometimes even change the way we think towards our life. It also sometimes changes our perspective towards life. So storytelling is basically interactive art of using words and action to reveal the elements and images of the discipline. So people actually, when we are connecting to storytelling, it enhances real life connection and imagination, and also help them make it more meaningful when it comes to in a teaching and learning platform. And it also becomes the tool to help a student basically articulate these learning aspects. So articulating one's thinking and process is basically key to problem solving, I would say, and storytelling basically develop that skills among students. And it is also one of the best way to collaborate and also develop ability to share what they are thinking in the form of various creative arts. And one way to tell a story in order to collaborate effectively is one of the best way to help students develop these transdisciplinary thinking ability to help them connect with different disciplines, I would say. So storytelling for 21st century skill is something that storytelling definitely help foster. Due to the changing world of globalization, students provided with basic school knowledge are not sufficient, as they are required to develop the competencies to be fit into this global arena. When students graduate from the formal education and face the real corporate world, they should be capable of handling the problem, no matter how complex it is. So they're expected to be innovative, at the same time creative, and also they should be equipped with these 21st century skills, which is very crucial in today's time. And storytelling basically helps foster these globally required skills, and it is one of the best tools to help our students to build these kind of skills and connect with people and share their thoughts and feelings in a deeper and more meaningful way. So it develop ability to articulate, certainly, but these are some of the very crucial 21st century skills that our children should be equipped with. When it comes to storytelling, is one of the key skill that would help foster would be communication and collaboration, which our students shall develop through storytelling, as students are also engaged in lot of collaborative learning and peer learning, which encourages them to express their understanding, express their thoughts and feelings, and then this also helps them develop the sense of teamwork. They learn how to collaborate their idea and knowledge together. And storytelling helps foster creativity and innovation, because storytelling also helps students to express their own personality and their original ideas through language art. It could be visual art and the performance art, as they narrate their own stories through the imagination, and such creativity certainly leads to innovation that encourages the student to experiment and be more inventive. And they also develop critical thinking and problem solving ability. Integrating arts such as storytelling foster the ability to approach a problem solving in a very systematic way, and applying these gained knowledge to reason and problem solving in a real world case scenario. So student becomes more observant, and they are more analytical and rational, and the student can also evaluate the problem more effectively and efficiently, and they come up with the solution in a timely and very effective manner, I would say. And this also helped our student foster the confidence, because when we integrate storytelling in our teaching and learning platform, we are concentrating on the concrete intervention through which they develop valid reasoning, and they are more confident to express themselves and come up with their own idea and knowledge. So there are different forms of storytelling, different methods of storytelling. And when we talk about teaching techniques, ICT is something which is inseparable, I would say. And in STEAM itself, technology plays a very crucial role, especially when our life is disrupted by COVID today. So digital storytelling can be one of the best way of incorporating art in teaching. So digital storytelling is simply practicing storytelling using computer-based tools. It could be, combination of text. It could be combination of video clips, images, and music and audio narration are all the tools that we actually use in digital storytelling. And digital storytelling is also known as these listed names like digital essays, electronic memoirs, and interactive storytelling. And I would say this can be one of the very best approach, as we all are in an online mode of study. So this could be one of the best way to approach for our students' development. So it is also important that our educational system is updated as per the latest trend and technology. So digital story is one of such trend upcoming generation to look forward to. So it creates opportunities and space for our students to produce topics about which they are interested in, and they showcase their learning among their peers and teachers and their targeted audience. Likewise, it also enables the students to use available technologies such as waveworks, and it could be audio visuals that would aid their storytelling, and they can also learn these aspect much in a faster way. Also it have they also develop depth knowledge and skills about these learned technology, and it has a huge impact in creating storytelling process. So this is why educational users should also adapt digital storytelling in their teaching and learning. So when we are preparing our students for storytelling, there are some elements that we should not be missing. First would be purpose of the story. A story in general should have certain logic or rational. So the storyteller should be able to engage our viewers and also make a connection with the audience in regard to the theme itself. So we should make sure when we are teaching our student how to create their story, a purpose of the story should be first and foremost thing that we should not be missing in our instruction. And another would be a target audience, because while preparing students must understand that who their audience are, and it is also it really actually affects whether the group is larger or smaller, because the way you actually connect, or way you actually connect to your theme, you need to make sure of your targeted audience and how you are going to approach. And understanding the target group basically helps students to build empathy and also develop the intimate settings, and that helps connect with the audience. And the choice of content, of course, because the student should be selective about overall content of the story. In some cases, serious issues can come alive in personal and a very powerful way. So students should always narrate their story, or whenever they are using or adding their content, they need to make sure that it's very much related to their theme. Another would be narrator's point of view, wherein the narrator's viewpoint is also something that is very much relevant, because that allows students to come up with their own original idea. And dramatic questions, of course, because when we are listening to a story, when we are like watching a movie, or if we are watching any kind of image story, we always look for some dramatic questions and answer. So the storyteller must also make sure that they include these dramatic questions, and they should also be answering these curiosity in their story itself. So when it comes to storytelling, voice clarity, grammar, and language is something which we cannot miss, because we need the right voice and clarity to engage our audience. And it is observed that narrators with deep and clear voice have a lasting impression on the audience. So the pronunciation, the pace of speaking, their tone, the volume of the speaker, and some other qualities should be mastered while we are preparing our student as a storyteller. And it is also important that the audience understand the context of the whole story. And of course, the quality of image and video is also important. When we are preparing a digital story, we need to make sure that the picture quality is good, the pixel, and we also need to make sure that the size of the file is also okay, so that we can play it whenever it is needed. So recently at my school, we organized a storytelling festival, and the participants were from grade 7, and I am voices theme adaptability. The main objective of the theme was certainly to help our student understand the concept of adaptability, and also through storytelling event, we wanted our students to learn that art is also related to visual personal expression, and to express our emotion and values and some creative ideas. And students were also required to learn and accept that things change in life, and it also allows them to think through a new situation. And we also wanted our students to develop the understanding on how they can adjust their action and thinking based on the new information. So for the introduction of the theme section, what we did was, in this stage, our teachers basically they tried connecting students with the theme, which started through some brainstorming activity, which included some open-ended question answers, like, for example, how do you prefer for the unexpected change? How did you feel when unexpected change occurred? How did you adjust yourself in an unpredictable situation? And teachers also, they try to connect them with the current change in their life that is brought about by the COVID situation. They try to connect with their real situation, and teachers also try to share some of the very much relevant video on adaptability and storytelling, as that was the major focus in this particular topic. So in the knowledge construction part, teacher facilitate in making the student understand that adaptability is the ability to change and change with the new environment and in the new circumstances that they face, and is also acting effectively to respond to these uncertainty that comes in our life and new information or changed circumstances. And also students reflect on the questions like why do you require to develop ability to adapt to change, and how would you effectively respond to the change. So in this section, students go through a lot of research interaction wherein they also learn about adaptability. But however, since storytelling is our main focus, so we are actually trying our student to come up with their own idea and story which is relevant to adaptability in their life. So this is the stage wherein we actually create a story. So since Storytelling Festival being our target project, students get engaged in research activity and are also encouraged to come up with their idea from their own lives and also from the wider world. And students are also encouraged to work in a peer and then team to brainstorm various ideas for the theme itself, which is adaptability, and also create their own ideas which is relevant to the theme. After they come up with their ideas, teacher help them plan for the stories, which is extended through a piece of writing. So while doing so, they consider a central idea and then they outline the events and the planning. The action involved deciding and developing the character for the story. And in order to make the story look more realistic, students are also encouraged to research more and connect with the stories that they have already read in the book, since our teacher was also sharing some interesting novel in the classroom. So they were basically asked to share these ideas and to connect and these idea on how these author connected his story. So this is how they actually developed the story and narrate it. And students were also informed about various kind of arts that we were trying to integrate in this particular storytelling festival. And after a week long preparation and research, the storytelling festival was conducted, and three different forms of art were incorporated, like I just said: language art, visual art, and performance art. So the objective of language art was to develop the four skills, since this was taken over, or this was handled by our English teacher: listening, speaking, reading, and writing as storytelling skills, and also to effectively use the tool for developing these four language skills. And creative writing was the another aspect that students learned from this festival. And these are some of the learning goals that we expected from our students, that students were expected to develop critical thinking in students when they analyze the situation and the characters in the story. They were asked to do the character analysis. This is how they develop critical thinking. And the storytelling event also helped in creative writing. The story created was full of tools like some synonyms and some difficult words, and also some figures and the speeches. So they were also asked to identify them. They were also encouraged to use them in their writings. And learning to analyze and think critically assists students to build their personal opinion and express them confidently. This is how they develop confident in expressing their prescribed knowledge. And after the student completed their writing, they again go back and study and read the whole story. So they are asked to identify these various, grammar and the preposition and adjectives and adverbs that they were studying in the classroom. So the teacher tried to connect these words in their story writing. So students were also expected to learn morals and values and principles and the social skills. So while doing so, they also designed their own, story, and they came up with some small digital story as well. While they perform, this teacher also instructed these to follow. Like they had to come up with some idea, and they have to write their script, and they have to work with many other technological tools. So they began producing their image story, and then the pictures. The teacher had to make sure that the pictures were put in order or not. So they started recording their voice. So voiceover was there, and finally they edited the picture, added the effects and the music that made the story more interesting. And some of the tools that can be used while making a digital storytelling would be, these are just some example, like V-Video, Puppet Pals, and Story Jumper, Storyboard, Smilebox, and there are many more. Even if you just go and Google it, there are a lot of tools that you can actually use while making digital story. So yes, STEAM was certainly connected. Firstly, science learning students were also able to pose different scientific questions, and they even learned how to look at the cause and effect, and they also learned about human moods, as the adaptability was their major theme. So they learned about different moods, emotion, and also they were able to make a comparison and some similarity in how their body would react in different situation and different weather. So these are the things, scientific connection that we did in the storytelling festival. And some technological learning, as they were creating their digital story, they learned how to edit and add effects in the visual stories, and they were also able to use the appropriate tools and materials for their task. And certainly art was there, because this was the major focus in the storytelling. So they demonstrated their creativity, they showcased their learning through these art-based presentation, like visual story and language art were there. So I'll just take you quickly to one short video on how we conducted the storytelling festival, and a small section where we've tried to bring our student and our teachers' reflection.
I think, yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Regina and I teach English at Imperial World School. When I just started writing with my students, I focus on two skills, writing and speaking. Writing involves a wide spectrum of technicalities, but basically the object is to tickle the imaginations and to promote their language learning by acquiring new language structures. And I am merely a guide to them. And when it comes to storytelling, when they finally present their work to the class and tell the stories to the class, it advances their speaking skills, their listening skills, and also elevates their confidence.
And last storytelling festival was an absolute blast. It played a huge role in building my vocabulary, speaking, and listening skills. I absolutely love storytelling events.
Adaptability is demonstrated by the ability to change, alter, or cope with new environments or circumstances. Adaptability storytelling describes the social and cultural activity of sharing stories, sometimes with improvisation, theatrics, or embellishment. Storytelling.
He had an older sister, Hannah. He was popular in his school as there were hardly any smart students in the village. He always wanted to become the center of attention. Since there were not many smart students in his school, he would always top his exams, come first in almost all the competitions held in his school.
Troublesome Prince. There once lived a troublesome prince who caused trouble everywhere he went. So, as punishment, the king kicked him out of the palace and sent him to a village to live under harsh conditions. The prince had never lived alone. He was so dependent on others, he didn't even know how to work for his living. The first thing the prince had to do was find a place to spend the night at heart. The king quickly retired and handed over the throne to the prince. The old king passed away. In his dad's memory, he introduced a new scheme which enhanced the rate of employment in his kingdom, which led the kingdom to a good path. They lived happily ever after. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Subeksha Bandari from Imperial World School. Storytelling has always been a euphoric adventure for me. I really like how we all brainstorm ideas about daily situations and focus them into interesting stories. This has also helped me understand myself better. Storytelling is not as tedious as it seems. It's actually interesting and fun way of developing your language, both writing and speaking. Thank you.
So yes, I hope you enjoyed the video, though it was very short, and I just wanted to show you, share what we did at our school and how children actually learn and enjoyed storytelling festival, and how our teacher instructed, and what was her main objective of this festival. And it was just a small sharing, and undoubtedly there are many advantages for students' perspective through storytelling. Firstly, storytelling is that basically concentrate on the concrete intervention, and in learning it caters to their knowledge level and also to their need to study that particular topic. And every student has their own capacity to learn, and some are good at writing, some may be good at reading, and some may be good at speaking. So storytelling helps students challenge themselves and build that competencies which may be lacking in them. And it also is very effective way, because when we incorporate storytelling in our teaching, students become more expressive, because storytelling is an effective way of integrating art that allows them to articulate what they are actually thinking, and the idea is more personal and authentic when they get involved in storytelling. And we talk a lot about multiple intelligence, and when we are dealing with storytelling, teaching and learning approach, multiple intelligence is so much connected in innovative learning platform, as storytelling enhances the student skill in which they are already good at, but it also help them, we try and push them to learn different skills through storytelling. Most importantly, a particular student may also be good at interpersonal skills, and some may be good at visual arts, and some may be good at music. So storytelling basically covers all these wide range of intelligence, and basically it also develop the empathy among students, and they work on various dimensions of storytelling, such as emotion, value, respect, and connection. So this is what I have to share. Finally, before I conclude, I would like to share some of the transitions in my academic and professional journey. And of course, joining STEM program at Kathmandu University has certainly been one of the very good decision and logical extension in my learning journey. And I wouldn't say that I have transformed, because there are still so much to learn. But yes, STEM class have certainly enhance my knowledge and skill, and that is required to be an educator. So the theoretical aspect and practical aspect that has really helped me understand and get the deeper meaning of the various educational approaches, and has also been applied globally in an education field. And I'm certainly very much confident and prepared as a leader to perform even effectively and practically apply these learned aspects in my day-to-day teaching and learning platform. At last, I would certainly like to thank the entire STEAM department for this opportunity, and I would also like to acknowledge our very respected Bal sir, Binod sir, Indra sir, Netra sir, Niro sir, and rest of the faculty members of STEAM department, and certainly my classmates for your continued support and guidance. I hope this sharing was certainly useful for all of you. Thank you for listening to me. These are some of my references that I learned from, and finally, this is the conclusion of my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Junita ma'am. Though it is a little longer, but I enjoyed a lot the way you presented the things that you have proposed. Certainly, storytelling can be one of the STEAM pedagogy that incorporate all kind of students who are there in the classroom, because we also actually recognize as well as respect the multiple intelligence of the students. There are various types of students in the classroom, not only one way or the other, like lecture method or sticking on the board is sufficient for transferring knowledge to the students. We have to seek for different kind of strategies in terms of teaching and learning. And storytelling can also be one of the various methods that can integrate various ideas and concepts in teaching and learning. Thank you very much, Junita ma'am, for your wonderful and outstanding presentation today. So without delaying, I want to go for some questions out there here. Excellent presentation. I've seen one question here. Can we actually, one question is there. I've seen here is the question I can see here. Okay. So one question was related to curriculum here. I think it is, I'm scrolling up. So here, where is the question? Yes. Okay. So while it's not this, so the importance of STEAM pedagogy is well understood, but is there any environment for teachers to come together to integrate their curriculum for execution? Is there any option? Can we bring teachers together to integrate curriculum for execution? Junita ma'am.
Certainly, sir, because this is also one of our topic in our curriculum, which was adaptability, and I'm sure we can connect this topic with our social science subject, and certainly some social studies, and certainly other subject like maths and all. But since this time we have tried, we did this adaptability theme, and then there were different sort of intervention from different discipline, like science teacher had their own task to connect, and then also the maths teacher would have different types of connection. But since this project was done by our English department, so we were more focused on creative writing part, and then the art integration was our major focus, and certainly we can connect it with our curriculum as well.
Yes, sir. Yes. Actually, this question was by Sunita Lama. Certainly, we can actually bring not only if English teacher is executing this one, then the English teacher can bring other subject teachers and work together to execute the to develop the curriculum, school curriculum, and on the basis of that, the teaching and learning activities can be developed. Thank you very much for the answer, Junita ma'am. The next question is that can we actually can storytelling be helpful there in mathematics education? How? Do you have any idea, Junita ma'am? This question is from Suman official. I think Suman Kharka maybe.
Well, so for this particular topic, we haven't connected mathematics. That's why I didn't share, because the major connection was with science and technology and arts. But certainly we can explore on that with our mathematics department. And I'm not expert in mathematics. This platform would not be right place for me to, put in my understanding on that. So certainly we would research on that. How can we connect mathematics in storytelling, and certainly would like to share with you in future. Thank you so much for your question.
Okay, thank you very much, madam. I think the concluding remarks will be given by Professor Balchandra Dure later on. He will also address this issue. For now, I, being a mathematics teacher as well, I am also a mathematics teacher, so we can certainly use this storytelling pedagogy in mathematics as well. Thank you very much. I think no more question are here. Maybe I can't see other question. If I have not seen here, I'm sorry for that. Now I think it's we are already late. That's why I want to thank Junita Karki ma'am for your wonderful presentation again. Now I would like to request and invite yet another presenter. Sanjaya Kumar Pant is doing his research, and he is a scholar in STEAM education from Kathmandu University School of Education. Sanjay sir, will you please share your slide and start your presentation? His title is Gardening as a STEAM Pedagogy. A photo story is also very interesting topic as well today.
Sure, sir. Thank you, Indramani, sir.
So gardening as STEAM pedagogy is coming out. Sanjay sir, any problem in sharing?
Now is it visible, sir?
Not yet.
Just few.
Present now is there. I think you can go there. You can.
It might be taking some time to arrive from Dapsa.
Yeah, of course, he is on the field. He is doing his research out there in Dapsa. I think Kabri Palanchuk, by the side of Dhulikhel. So he is on the field doing his research, gardening pedagogy, and he is going to share his experiential learning from there.
Otherwise, we can share from here and then he can make a presentation. Might be the connection issue is there.
Yeah. Sanjay sir, can I share from my side?
Okay, sir. I'm getting a little obstacle here. Please, could you send from there, sir?
Okay, let me share.
Yeah, it's about to rain, sir. Almost very dark and cloudy, so data is also very slow.
Okay. Does it appear there?
Yeah, it is appearing now.
Let me do again. Is it okay?
The file is a little big, so okay, now it's fine.
Okay, please move on.
Okay, let me begin. Shall I begin, Indra sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, greetings to my supervisor, Professor Dr. Balchandra Lutel sir, a respected sir, Indramani sir, Vinod sir, and all the guests here in the webinar. I'm Sanjaya Kumar Pant, MPhil scholar at Kathmandu University School of Education, and my topic is gardening as STEAM pedagogy. I'll be sharing lots of photos that reflects what I'm doing here. Next slide, sir. Basically, we are focused here on ecological sanitation, certainly Ecosam, then Culture, which is an art of growing vegetables, followed by hydroponics, horticulture, and at the last of the session, two of the teachers from my research school, will be sharing their experiences as well. Next slide, sir. Firstly, let me go to Ecosam. Ecosam certainly is an abbreviation of ecological sanitation, which simply means that it's an approach or it's a way where we just reuse or recycle excreta for the sake of agriculture. And in this image, you could see Narrator coordinator, Professor Balchandra Lutel sir, department head of STEAM education, Vinod Prasad Pant sir, and SMC chair of this school, Junita Shahi Karki, and the accountant of Junita Shahi Karki, sir. This is the primary field visit, which was around, I think it took place around 3-4 months before. And then suddenly we got the COVID, second wave of COVID, and we halted a little. And then again, we re-emerged on the field and started our work. Next slide, Indra sir. During the first initial journey of our research activities, we formed a STEAM club containing students from grade 6 to 9, including the subject teachers as well. Here you could see teachers, students. Vinod sir is also there in the middle of the image, and me there. This is about the STEAM club. After forming STEAM club, we moved to our activities. Next slide, sir. Our major focus was on Ecosam, ecological sanitation. Thus, we just brought a collection pipe, connected pipe from the urinary at school into a small sub tank. This is the tank where immediate urine gets collected from the urinary toilets. Next slide. And then from this tank, urine will be passed through this pipe into the plot, which is just below this road. This image just so that we are joining the urine collection, primary urine collection tank with the secondary tank there. Next image, sir. This image shows that the urine collected from the school will be finally collected at this tank, this vat. This is the tank one. This is also called the main urine collection tank. And from this main urine collection tank, we'll be moving into the other tanks. But you see, the tragedy of this life is not when one dies, but what dies inside us when we are alive. This is the very great remarks, great quote. And I'm just trying to exhibit here the terrain, the slopy terrain of the field where we are just conducting this Ecosam gardening activity. It's almost 24-degree slopy terrain, which is not and never possible for fertigation using drip system. Thus, what we did is, let's move to the next slide. Then we thought of just making the plot a little more plain. Thus, we bulldozed the entire plot. Here you could see the dozer is working, it's making the plot. And then after using the dozer, our plot transformed into this shape. Next slide, sir. Yes, like this. It's almost flat, so wide, so big. That slopy terrain was converted. Now, what we did after this plot management is, then we just managed the water collection tank there, that is called tank 3, and just below that is another tank, tank 2, which is used for the urine dilution. The urine which was collected from school and the water from the tank 3 gets diluted, gets mixed, and then we saturate the urine in a ratio of 1:3. And just below the tank 3, the dilution tank, you could see the tunnels undergoing there. Now, this is the tunnel. This is the bamboo house which we constructed on the slopy terrain, bulldozed. Then here, this is a very beautiful image. Our guardians are just working there in making a rainwater harvesting pond. This pond is now, we have already used this pond just by depositing the plastic, underlying the plastic, and then now it is working. There is the seats. Now, after bulldozing the plot and then fixing the tunnels, then the next work is to manage the seeds for Ecosam, for olericulture, vegetable farming. These are the seeds. And the next slide, sir. Yes. Here you could see two teachers. What they are doing is just seed sowing using a traditional approach. Next slide, sir. Further, we have managed around 8 vegetables such as cabbage, chili, tomatoes, and etc. Next slide. Yes, the seeds sown are then mulched. It is because to maintain the humidity, temperature, and the other related physical parameters, they are mulched so that the germination could begin so rapidly. Also, the major thing here is the school gardening activities which we are doing here at Janahit School, Dacha, Kavre, uses various types of fertigation. The one is we'll be using urine as a fertilizer. The second plot uses urine plus biochar. Biochar is prepared by just incomplete burning of these plant materials. The third plot uses chemical nutrients such as urea, DAP, and another fourth plot uses only water. Thus, we were preparing biochar there. And also, besides that, the slopy terrain which were not bulldozed were finally used for rainwater recycling system. And here, Dhruva sir, our occupation teacher, he's just looking through the bamboo. It seems a little wizard what he is doing. It's simply he's just calibrating the plot land using the hydro marker. Next slide, sir. And during this project work, our students are heavily engaged in the activities of field work, school gardening. And here, one of a teacher has brought the students into the field, and they were consulting about what to do and how to do probably. Next slide, sir. Here you could see the students constructing the tunnel. These are called continuous contour trenches, CCTs, and it is almost ready now, and it stores water, rainwater, and below the first drainage, and another group of students were just measuring and digging the holes. So students are also more entertained, and they are almost so happy to be the part of the field work, to be the part of farm work. Next slide, sir. This slide shows that what we did is we have just given the responsibility divided into some sort of groups, like a class 6 teacher, class teacher and his class 7 teacher and his class, and they were just told to construct a tunnel for water storage. And during this process, we saw lots of collaboration, teamwork, and engagement, and even the critical thinking of the students as well. So this is all about the groundwater recharge system. This image shows that our staff, and the madam is there. She is pulling the wheelbarrow. She is the principal of this school. Our teachers are also somehow we say breaking the traditional boundaries of teachers and students. Teachers are also equally involved in the field work, which is a very beautiful part of this research journey. Next slide. Yeah, and again, 2 students are there just understanding how hydromarker works. This hydromarker typically is used to make know the slope of the terrain, slope of the land, and they are learning about these skills as well. Next slide. Okay, you see, it's wonderful work happening here. Students of class 6 and 7 are heavily involved in harvesting the barley, and they were just cutting the barleys and just depositing, and later we just collect the wheat, barley, and just convert into the flour, and we plan to make some nutritious Horlicks-like food product. And here you could see students using the developing the mathematical skills in the field. They were measuring the plot for the CCTs, for the tunnels. So it is also a more encouraging and collaborating work. Next slide. Okay, not only school teachers, not only school students, but we are so glad to have our representatives from local government. You could see local governing bodies are there, and they are just drilling the drum. And they're assisting us. They're very curious, and just we are just sharing knowledge with one another. This is a part of community support also. Next slide, sir. Okay. On the other hand, we just let me summarize. We just collected the urine, brought on the tank one, and on the other hand, we just bulldozed, made the tunnel, and there the seeds were just germinated. They just germinated. Okay. Many things are happening, like it's like a rainbow project. And here, teachers are involved in making polytunnels. Just besides the teacher, you could see the seedlings are almost about to transport to the research plot. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is the polytunnel. It's one end of the polytunnel. Similarly, we have constructed other 3 more polytunnels on the similar plane. They are almost ready now in this image. Okay, teachers are also here. You could see 2 teachers and 1 student, and they're busy in just netting, or they're using the green net, fixing the green net, and it simply avoids harmful and other insects entering into the research plot. And students look there. She's from class 5 now. She just passed and in the class 6, and she's so curious and learning how green net works, how to net green net, how to fix green net. So it's a beautiful work going on. Teachers are busy in activities, and students are learning, and they're sharing. It's a kind of knowledge development happening together. Next slide, sir. And but the tragedy is, you see, the second wave of COVID hit us so badly, and we were planned to collect urine from almost 250 students of Junita School, but due to COVID, we could not open the school. The school got shut down, but by hook or crook, we need to collect the urine for our research site. So what we were doing is, I'm just collecting urine from in a bottle, and just transporting into the collection chamber, collection drum. And this in this way, we were regularly collecting urine into the collection drum also. Yeah. Now we are about to fix the drip system of irrigation also. And on the right side of this image, you could see me just pouring the biochar on the field, and another teacher, Ramchandra sir, is busy in just making the plots. Work is progressing a lot, and this image is so beautiful. You could see the drip lines parallelly fixed, and then our teachers though it is there, it is strike, COVID, second wave of COVID is still pertaining, but the teachers are so eager to join our research site, and they came and they just planted, fixed the drip lines, and this work is going there. Next slide, sir. Yes, you could see tomatoes. One of a teacher is just planting tomatoes. Now, this is all about the Ecosam. Besides that, we also got involved in a hydroponic project. Basically, dear friends, hydroponic is an art and science of growing plants without soil. Yeah, soil is not considered as a medium of growing, but we used other alternatives. And this image simply shows that Vinod sir is just helping students to design a prototype of a plant. A prototype of a plant, and but what his student did is, you see, they made a very beautiful plant using the wool, cottons, and then stick and then wires, and just to brainstorm the students, just to make them more critical about the necessity of the soil for the cultivation of plants. Is it necessary? Is soil necessary or not? It's all about the designing prototype. After designing the prototype, we moved to the another part, that is constructions of the greenhouse. Next slide, sir. You could see teachers heavily involved in making a greenhouse on the overhead of this school, on the top of this rooftop of this school. This is a greenhouse. We made greenhouse. Then after this, so next image, please. Then we need to collect pipes and make some bore some holes in order to fit the sockets. And students, you could see lots of students and teachers are also involved in making the sockets, heating the pipes. So much engagement. Next slide, sir. And you see, as hydroponics does not use the soil as a medium of cultivation, so we are using cocoa peat, and students and teachers are there. They were just cleaning the cocoa peat and just making it more drier. And the students from grade 2, 3 are also very keenly, very curiously observing. And this image simply shows how we could just sow the seed on the cocoa peat. And principal ma'am, a teacher, is just connecting this hydroponic activities with her science lessons, germination. Next slide, sir. Okay, these are the seedlings after 2 weeks. Let's welcome these seedlings. And these seedlings were finally, next slide, sir, were transported into the hydroponic medium. And here you could see lettuce planted, and these are 10 days old. Yes, here you could see Narrator coordinator, Professor Dr. Balchandra sir and Vinod sir together, and they are just checking the TDS, total dissolved solute, and pH in the nutrient solution also, and just confirming whether the system is going okay or not. Next slide, sir. Yes, these are the tomatoes, almost 20 days older. They are successfully grown on the hydroponic system. Okay, in each and every step of the project work, we definitely encourage teachers as well as students in the activities. Here you could see students from grade 8 and 9 are busy in just transporting the seedlings grown on the cocoa peat medium into the hydroponic bed. Okay, next slide, sir. Okay, and Vinod sir is facilitating students to just make the process very properly, go the process very properly, and students are really busy. Next slide, sir. Okay, these are the lettuce, almost 2-month-old, very beautiful, almost about to harvest. Okay, and this is the tomato. This is the tomato plant. It's in the flowering stage. You could see in the same bed we just cultivated lettuce, tomatoes, and even the garlic also. This is in a flowering stage. Okay, next slide, sir. And besides hydroponic, what we did is we used horticulture. It's an art of growing fruits. And here in the field, we are preparing to plant kiwi, strawberry, red banana, and lemon as well as. Okay. And this is all about my presentation. But at the same time, Indra sir, I'd like to put the voice from co-researcher, respected teachers from Janati School who has helped us in each and every part of this project work, and they will be helping us also. So I'd like to welcome Ram sir, Ram Neupane sir, for putting how he just observed the activities and what sort of reflection he got during this project work. He's a math teacher at Junita School. Sir, please. Probably he'll be sharing a poem also. It's very beautifully reciting poem, song. Okay, sir, it's your time. He'll be taking 5 minutes time.
Thank you, Sanjaya Kumar Pant sir. Then, first of all, greeting to Professor Dr. Balchandra Luitel sir and Manoj Kumar Pant sir and another Ramani sir and Parvati Dungana ma'am and other respected guests. Then, first of all, I am going to sing a song related to school gardening. Then I am going to sing. Siknu parcha aruko herera ho, STEAM शिक्षाको हाँगालाई टेकेर हो, ए हो विद्यार्थी भाइ हो, हामी शिक्षक हाम्रो जनहित, हामी शिक्षक राम्रो जनहित, कला नि हाम्रै हो, विज्ञान नि राम्रै हो, ए हो हामी शिक्षक हाम्रो जनहित, हामी शिक्षक हाम्रो जनहित, पिसाब संकलन गरेर हो, सिकाइलाई कृषिमा जोडेर हो, ए हो विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनी, हाम्रो जनहित हामी शिक्षक, हाम्रो जनहित हामी शिक्षक, व्यवहारिक शिक्षा दिएर अर्थलाई जोडेर हो, ए हो हामी शिक्षक हाम्रो जनहित, हामी शिक्षक राम्रो जनहित. Then we have connected hydroponics and school gardening using Ecosam, and we have learned students and teachers with collaborative environment using gardening Ecosam. We have connected many subjects just like social, mathematics, science, Nepali, arts, engineering, occupation, school gardening using Ecosam. In mathematics, in school gardening, Ecosam, we can ask students how many plants in row and how many plants in column, then student count, student could count, then how many total plants in row and column. They could recognize the rectangle, square, and their area measurement. In school gardening, students learn slope of the garden, then tan theta p by b, then perpendicular line, parallel line, etc., and volume of the gardening drum, and many more. Our parents are in school gardening. They realize school gardening is also one of the resource of the STEAM education, and they are very curious in school gardening and how to their children learn in this school gardening. They are very curious. Then thank you, Sanjaya Kumar Pant sir.
Thank you, Ram sir. Indra sir, now this is all about our math teacher, Ram Neupane sir, who has shared a beautiful song as well as his experience, his reflections. Now lastly, I'll be putting a voice from occupation teacher, who is the ex-principal of this school as well. He'll be sharing his reflections and how the Ecosam, and we are linking with the Ecosam with the community. So, Dhruva sir, could you please say something about this? Okay, sir, हजुरले केही भनिदिनुस् त.
धन्यवाद संजय सर. सर्वप्रथम त म मेरो सम्पूर्ण केयुका सरहरूलाई, बालचन्द्र लुइटेल सर, श्रीकृष्ण वाग्ले सर, अनि विनोद पन्त सर, पार्वती ढुङ्गाना म्याम, अन्य आदरणीय गुरुहरू अनि सबैलाई चाहिँ मेरो चाहिँ अब यो साँझको नमस्कार टक्राउन चाहन्छु. र म ध्रुव अधिकारी, यस विद्यालयको अकुपेसन टिचर, पेसा व्यवसाय शिक्षक. र मैले पहिला पेसा व्यवसाय पढाउँदाखेरि जब यो विद्यालयमा हामी पुरा सैद्धान्तिक ज्ञानहरू मात्रै दिने गर्थ्यौँ, व्यवहारमा थोरै मात्रै हामीले व्यावहारिक प्रयोगात्मक हामीले कामहरू गर्न सकिरहेका थियौँ। अहिले त्यो पूर्ण रूपमा अहिले सफलता प्राप्त भएको छ। अहिले जब यो नोरेट प्रोजेक्ट मार्फतबाट केयुको अब काठमाडौँ युनिभर्सिटीबाट हामीलाई चाहिँ सहयोगार्थ र उहाँले यो जोडेर स्टिम प्रोजेक्ट ल्याइदिनु भएर हाम्रो विद्यालय जनहित महाविद्यालय चाहिँ धेरै अब उत्तरोत्तर प्रगति गर्नलाई चाहिँ अब सहयोग गर्नुभएको छ। उहाँहरूलाई मुरी धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु म सबै सरकार सम्बन्धित सहयोगार्थ अब संस्था व्यक्ति महानुभावहरूलाई। र अब म के भन्न चाहन्छु भने अहिले जब यो हाम्रो 2 वर्ष 3 वर्ष अगाडिदेखि यस विद्यालयमा काठमाडौँ युनिभर्सिटीले काठमाडौँ विश्वविद्यालयले यहाँ नोरेट प्रोजेक्ट मार्फतबाट चाहिँ यो स्टिम प्रोजेक्ट ल्याएर चाहिँ हामीलाई अब सहयोग गर्नु भनेर यहाँ आउनुभएको छ। त्यो सहयोगबाट चाहिँ हामी सम्पूर्ण शिक्षकहरू पनि उत्साहित छौँ र समुदाय उत्साहित छ, हाम्रो समिति उत्साहित हुनुहुन्छ, अनि विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनी उत्साहित हुनुहुन्छ। सबै शिक्षकहरूले आफ्नो विषयहरूलाई अब यो स्टिम प्रोजेक्ट मार्फत जोडेर शिक्षण क्रियाकलाप गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ। भाइ बहिनीले सिक्दै हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँहरू असाध्यै अब उत्सुकताका साथ सिकिरहनु भएको छ, शिक्षकहरूले सिकाइरहनु भएको छ र यसको सिकाइ उपलब्धि पनि राम्रै अहिले चाहिँ भइरहेको छ। र अहिले म के भन्न चाहन्छु भने अहिले पछिल्लो समयमा यो कोभिडको सेकेन्ड अब लहर आएको अब समयमा पनि हामीले यो इकोसमलाई चाहिँ जोडेर युरिन प्रयोग गरेर र हामीले यहाँ अहिले टनेला 4वटा टनेलामा हामीले खेती गरिरहेका छौँ। र यो त्यसमा अहिले सञ्जय सरले बताइसक्नु भयो। हामीले अब टोमेटो गोलभेडा, अनि त्यसपछि अर्को खोर्सानी, त्यस्तै गरी अर्को अनि भेन्टा अनि त्यस्तै बन्दाकोपी यी आदि हामीले लगाइरहेका छौँ। 4वटै टनेलामा हामीले लगाइरहेका छौँ। त्यसमा एउटा टनेलामा हामीले युरिन र हामीले खरानी प्रयोग गरिरहेका छौँ र एउटामा हामीले रासायनिक मल प्रयोग गरिरहेका छौँ, एउटामा युरिन प्रयोग गरिरहेका छौँ, एउटामा चाहिँ शुद्ध पानी मात्र प्रयोग गरिरहेका छौँ। र यसको अब हामीले बिरुवाहरू रोपिसकेका छौँ। अस्ति 3 गते र 4 गते हामीले बिरुवा लगाइसक्यौँ र म पनि यहाँ आएर चाहिँ अब सबै साथीहरूको अब सहयोगबाट हामीले अब यो बिरुवाहरू लगाइसक्यौँ र हामीले अब त्यो युरिनलाई पनि प्रयोग गर्दै पानीलाई प्रयोग गर्दै हामीले अब थोपा सिँचाइको मार्फतबाट हामीले त्यहाँ बिरुवाहरू अब सिड्सहरू हामीले चाहिँ रोपिसकेका छौँ। र अहिले हामीलाई यो विद्यालय बन्द भएको कारणले गर्दा हामीलाई अलिकति समस्या भनेको युरिनको समस्या भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि हामीले टोल समुदायहरूमा हामीले पिसाबलाई चाहिँ कसरी हुन्छ अभिभावकहरूलाई हामीले चाहिँ उहाँहरू समक्ष हामीले समन्वय गरेर हामीले सम्झाइ बुझाइ गरेर हामीले त्यो पिसाब कलेक्सन गर्न आइरहेका छौँ। र अनि शिक्षक साथीहरूले पनि हामीले कतिसँग सम्मत हुन्छ, कतिसँग सक्छौँ हामीले युरिन हामीले जम्मा गरिरहेका छौँ। त्यो युरिन ल्याएर अब हामीले यहाँ अब प्रयोग गर्न खोजिरहेका छौँ। नत्र हामीलाई अलिक समस्या भइरहेको छ। दिनमा 40 लिटर जति चाहिँ अब चाहिने रहेछ। पानी 3 खण्ड, 1 खण्ड पिसाब गर्दाखेरि हामीलाई चाहन्छौँ अब 200 लिटरको हाराहारीमा हामीले प्रयोग गर्नु पर्दाखेरि हामीले 40-50 लिटर चाहिँ हामीलाई युरिन चाहिन्छ। अब हामीसँग युरिन चाहिँ अब हामीले जम्मा गरेको पहिलाको युरिन सकियो। अब हामी कलेक्सन गर्न लागिरहेका छौँ र त्यसको लागि भ्याटहरू अनि सानसानो भ्याटहरू अनि त्यो भ्याट अनि त्यस्तै पोखरा के भनिन्छ अनि पोखरा अनि त्यो सोलीहरू चाहिँ अब हामीलाई यहाँ समुदायमा वितरण गर्ने हामीले कोसिस गरेका छौँ सञ्जय सर मार्फतबाट, अब सरहरूकै सहयोगहरूबाट। र मैले पनि अब हिजोबाट अलिकति युरिनहरू जम्मा गर्नु कोसिस गरिरहेको छु। अब त्यही जम्मा गरेको युरिन ल्याएर हामी प्रयोग, नत्र हामीले त्यो युरिन प्रयोग गर्न अलिकति हाम्रो समस्या भइरहेको थियो। र अब जे गरिरहेका छौँ अहिलेसम्म हामीले अब राम्रै रहेछौँ। अब विद्यालय खुलेपछि विद्यार्थीहरूलाई हामीले त्यो सिकाइसँग जोडेर, म पेसा व्यवसाय शिक्षक भएको कारणले मैले चाहिँ अब विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई त्यहाँ लगेर हामीले कसरी त्यो कुन टनेलामा कसरी कुन बिरुवा लगाएका छौँ अब त्यो उनीहरूले हेर्दै पनि थाहा पाउँछन्। हाम्रो भूगोल अनुसार चाहिँ विद्यार्थीहरूले घरमा गएर पनि अभिभावकलाई पनि बताउँछन्, सिक्छन्। र अब त्यो कुराहरू विद्यालय खुल्ने बित्तिकै अब हामी विद्यार्थीहरूलाई पनि त्यहाँ लगेर देखाएर हामी अब सिकाइसँग जोड्नेछौँ। र यसमा अब सबभन्दा ठुलो अब सहयोग चाहिँ अब काठमाडौँ विश्वविद्यालय र नोरेट प्रोजेक्टकै रहेको हुनाले यसले जनहित महाविद्यालय चाहिँ धेरै भविष्यमा चाहिँ धेरै राम्रो गराउने चाहिँ मैले अब चाहिँ सपना देखेको छु र अब भइरहेको पनि छ। त्यसैले म उहाँहरू सबैलाई धन्यवाद, फेरि मुरी धन्यवाद दिँदै मेरो भनाइ यति नै हो। म बिदा हुन्छु। धन्यवाद। सन्देश
धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद ध्रुव अधिकारी सरलाई। थ्याङ्क यू सो मच राम नेउपाने सर। यति मजाको कुराहरू शिक्षक साथीहरूबाट पनि आयो इन्द्र सर। लगभग if there are any questions and queries, then you could ask us. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening, for joining us for this long time. Thank you, Indra sir.
Okay, thank you very much for your outstanding sharing, Sanjaya Kumar Pant sir. I really enjoyed the experiential learning that happened there in Dhaka. I think it is about 40-50 kilometers away from here, there in Dhaka, nearby Guli Hill. So, without doing any delay, let me take some questions out here. Siring Tamang, he writes here, wonderful presentation, Sanjay sir. From your sharing, I could see teachers' engagement more. But in the real field, I hope students were engaged and participated more in making to maintaining the gardening. So his query is that only teachers are engaged or students are also engaged. Sanjay sir, did you get?
Yes, I think how students and teachers are engaged in the project, sir? The activities?
No. Teachers are more involved out there. Students are involved or not? That is
okay. Thank you for the question. During the beginning of the research activities, our students are heavily involved. How could we say this? Is, you see, regarding the school gardening activities, regarding the design of the plot, regarding the designing of the tunnel and polytunnels, we just brainstormed students. We just put the questions. How, like you see, what could be the size of the tunnel? How could we design a tunnel? What could be the raw materials in designing tunnels? And in this way, students were engaged in the process from the very beginning. And obviously, in these hard days where we were just almost locked from one house to other house because of the COVID, we could not collaborate with the students as much as we wanted. Thus, in this crucial time period, teachers supported us during the process of plantations of the seedlings and this transportation and fitting the drip irrigation. But certainly in coming days, we will be making more collaborations of students. But in these days, though it is pandemic, still here around 8 to 10 students from grade 6 to 9 are regularly joining in the project, and they are assisting and they are helping us and they are even learning, and it is happening, sir. And we have already formed the STEAM club before 3 months, and there were around 24-25 members in the STEAM club. And these STEAM club members or the representatives were just they were brought on the field. They came on the field. They joined on the field using the proper maintaining the proper social distance. And it is happening, sir. We are just bringing more engagement in coming days too, also, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Another question is related to the same question here from Ismail Chaudhary. I think now not all different question I've seen out here. The only concern is that whether the students are involved from the beginning to till date or not. I think Professor Balchandra Luitel is the actually main person who has been involving in this research project, as well as Prasad Pant sir. And in concluding remarks, Balchandra sir will be, I think, incorporating all sort of curiosity of the participants. So finally, I would like to thank and congratulate Sanjaya Kumar Pant and his team out there, teachers working day and night with their hard work out there in Dhaka. Thank you very much, Sanjay sir and the team there in Dhaka. So now, finally, though we are very short of time and it's too late as well, and I would like to invite Professor Balchandra Luitel to give his concluding remarks. Balchandra sir, please.
Okay, thank you, Indramani sir. Thank you for this call. I would like to start. I'll take 5-6 minutes, not more than that, because we are already late. But it's it's temptation. It's tempting to speak more because these presentations are so excellent, so powerful in the sense that they convey the message in favor of improving, transforming our school education. Well, there are a few issues. I'll start with them. For example, with Sanjay sir's presentation, because it's a very difficult time, and he's in the field since the time when we started this project. From the very beginning, students were engaged. There was a club, and the students were involved in sort of activities, in measuring, in checking the plot, and also in hydroponics as well, hydroponics related activities. And since then, because the lockdown started, Sanjay sir is living in the field, literally. It's not in Kathmandu, he's in the field, and he's working with teachers and select students, because we cannot bring many students to the plot, because the Namo Buddha municipality, once it declared total closure, but even during that time, they maintained social distance and they continued the work. And also, several team members were infected by COVID-19, and thankfully they all are recovering, and many of them are COVID-free now. So we need to appreciate that this kind of work has been done even during this pandemic. So it's not ideal situation. So whatever was possible, so they continued during this situation. But there are several videos posted by Sanjay ji himself on his Facebook page, and also I've shared some of them. You can see how the engagement of community, students, and teachers have been a process there. Likewise, so this is, I don't need to explain more about what Sanjay ji has done, because school has been a very lonely place. So it has not been connected with the community. It has not been connected with the parents. So it has been a lonely place. So we hope that this type of activities, this type of initiative will help establish the bonding, develop a bonding, meaningful bonding between school and community. For example, Sanjay ji, the other day, they said to us that, told us that the parents started to visit and started to, learn and try to understand the process of gardening, so that they can replicate in their plot, in their barren land, actually. Because there are many absentee farmers as well. I mean absentee farmers because they were farmers. Now they left the place. The land is left. Most of the part of the land is left. So, and probably they will be motivated. They will be convinced to utilize their field. So their field. So that is one sort of, it's not just students only, it's learning very important, but also the community. We would like to engage the community as well. Likewise, in the second, the other presentation by Junita ma'am, that was also a very excellent presentation. Her school is in Kathmandu, and we also visited once. I myself also visited once, and I think this is what suits to her particular school, because this digital storytelling is one of the approaches that can be connected with several disciplines, many subjects and topics. There were some questions, I think one or more questions there related to connecting this storytelling with mathematics. I think there are a number of examples. Even in this platform, we had presentations earlier as to how storytelling can be connected, as to how storytelling, facilitates a student to grow conceptually. Okay? So stories can be constructed around abstract concepts. Stories can be constructed around concrete ideas, very basic kind of concepts. So we might use story as an analytical tool, such as stories of a pie, or a story can be used to develop a problem such as profit and loss, and so on and so forth, so such as like terms and non terms. So we need just to be creative. We need just to see the other way around rather than just focusing on algorithm and abstract mathematical concepts. Likewise, Manojji, in the end, in the beginning, actually, I'm sorry I started from Sanjayji. Manojji actually did a brilliant job by connecting mathematics with culture, with Bhojpuri culture. Nepal is rich in cultural traditions, and not just Nepal. The world needs more more examples of mathematical contextualization. It's not just Nepal. Around the world, this has been a move that mathematics and science and other, and educational mathematics and science in particular, and educational processes in general are to be contextualized, are to be connected with the culture of the learners. Here, culture is not just about festivals, it's about activity that makes sense in our context. And from that perspective, education is also a cultural activity or a set of cultural activities, because we give values to certain ideas, we behave in a particular way, we communicate in a particular way, and these all activities come under culture. So our schools are cultural site in one way or the other. So if we make the culture more inclusive, more empowering, the educational process will be more meaningful and transformative. So these all presentations showcase our department's activities, and initially our Professor Wagley, said one thing, that if you are to engage in our in the process of becoming, in the process of transforming educational process and system, probably you better join with us. You better participate in our activities. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.